Okay, glad to know you are still there as Rapid Dawn continues with sport. I am Ijoma Victor. And we'll begin with the Nigerian Cricket Federation, where, yes, they have confirmed the return of the Women's T20 Invitational Tournament, which will be held in Lagos from March 18 to the 29th. Nigeria's female Yellow Greens will be joined by Ghana, Sierra Leone, Rwanda, and the South African under-19 women's team at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval. Ghana's last featured in the tournament in 2023, while Rwanda and Sierra Leone returned for competitive appearances. The South African under-19 women's team are newcomers to the tournament, which has now become expanded to 5 teams. The competition, which began as a bilateral series with Rwanda, was not held last year due to the NCF's busy calendar. Ahead of this year's tournament, the Federation has affirmed its readiness to use the competition as a high-performance platform for the team. The female Yellow Greens won the tournament for the first time in 2023 before surrendering the title to Tanzania in 2024, while Rwanda last won it in 2022. Meanwhile, the NCF is also preparing for the 7th edition of the National Under-17 Championship for boys and girls, with zonal qualifiers scheduled to take place from February 10 to the 23rd across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones. The National Under-17 Championship has been instrumental in discovering new cricket talent in the country, with many graduates going on to represent Nigeria at events such as the ICC Women's Under-19 T20 World Cup in Malaysia. And in boxing, Nigerian boxing sensation Elizabeth Oshoba has declared her intention to maintain her commanding role in the United Kingdom ahead of her 6th-round bout against Chelsea Arnell on April 5th, insisting she will leave no room for doubt when she steps into the rings. The IBF #1 super lightweight contender will feature on the undercard of the Caroline Dubois versus Temi Harper World Lightweight Title Unification bout, a card that also features Ellie Scotney shot at the undisputed World Championship against Meile Flores. Oshoba, who has not tested defeat in 9 professional fights, 5 of which have ended inside the distance, enter the contest in the form of her life and with a point to prove. Oshoba enters the bout as BoxRec's 4th-ranked super lightweight in their last ranking, sitting behind USA Ayulo Bagugana, Belgium's Defiance Passoon, and Australian Mia Motu. She also holds the WBC silver welterweight and IBO female super featherweight title. Amel, a 35-year-old from Hull with a professional record of 5-2-1, has previously challenged for the Central Area and English titles and will be eager to make the most of the opportunity. Oshoba relocated to the UK to launch her professional career in September 2022 after a decorated amateur career that included 6 Nigerian national titles, a bronze medal at the 2019 African Games, gold at the 2020 African Zone 3 Championship, and a silver medal at the 2022 Commonwealth Games. In January 2024, she made history by becoming the first female Nigerian boxer to win a world title when she knocked out Italy's Michela Braga in the 10th round in Copenhagen to claim the WBC silver featherweight crown. Still with boxing, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao will meet in the long-awaited rematch of the highest-grossing clash in boxing history since this September at the fair in Las Vegas, Netflix announced on Monday. Now, the bout between 2 of boxing biggest names was who famously fought a blockbuster clash in 2015 and are now both in their late 40s, comes days after Mayweather announced he is coming back out of retirement. Now, it will be broadcast live on September 19 on Netflix as the global streaming platform increasingly moves into live sport with glassy one-off events. Now, Mayweather beat a fellow welterweight Pacquiao in the money spinning 2015 fight of the century, which generated a record 4.6 million per pay-view buy, but largely failed to live up to the hype. Mayweather is believed to have earned an estimated $300 million from the point victory over the Filipino icon, which remains the most lucrative fight in history and generated more than $600 million in revenue. Former multi-weight world champions Mayweather retired from boxing in 2017, unbeaten in 50 bouts, though he has continued to fight in exhibitions since, including an upcoming clash this spring with Mike Tyson. Pacquiao, also a multiple world champion, retired a 4 years period from 2021 in which he unsuccessfully ran for the Filipino presidency. He came out of retirement last year, held to a draw by Mario Boros in Las Vegas. Rumors of Mayweather's Pacquiao rematch have circulated for years, and speculations soared following Mayweather's announcement last week that he would return to professional arena this year. The clash will be the first ever professional boxing match to take place at Fair, a venue primarily used for concerts and films, which opened in 2023 and feature an impressive 160,000 square foot wraparound screen on its curved interior walls. Now, away from boxing, we head straight to football, where Nigeria's Super Falcons will arrive Cameroon's capital Yaoundé on Wednesday for their double-header friendlies against the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. Now, head coach Justin Madugu, his assistant home-based duo of Andalane Mbechi and Fatima Oloko, as well as other members of the backroom staff, will fly out of Abuja to Yaoundé. They will be joined in Cameroon's capital by foreign-based professionals. Let's also tell you that the Super Falcons will face Cameroon in the first friendly on Saturday. The second friendly is slated for next week, Tuesday. Both teams are gearing up for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations, which will start in Morocco next month. The Super Falcons are drawn in Group C with debutant Malawi, Zambia, and Egypt. Cameroon, who started preparations for the friendlies last week, are in Group D with Ghana, Cape Verde, and Mali. And to the Super Eagles, Nigeria's senior national team, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, will resume campaign on March 24, 2026, ahead of their participation in the Four Nations Invitational Tournament in Amman, Jordan. The three-time African champions will compete during the March 2026 FIFA International window, facing Iran and host nation Jordan. Nigeria's opened its campaign against Iran on March 27 at the 17,000 capacity Amman International Stadium before concluding the tournament against Jordan on March 31st. A top team official confirmed that preparations will commence immediately when the FIFA International window opens. Despite ongoing discussions surrounding the contractual terms proposed by head coach Eric Chell to the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF), he is expected to lead the team throughout the tournament in Jordan. Meanwhile, Nigeria is still awaiting a decision from FIFA regarding a petition filed against DR Congo over the alleged fielding of ineligible players. The complaint followed Nigeria's 2-4 penalty shootout defeat to DR Congo in the final of the 2026 FIFA World Cup playoffs in Morocco. The Jordan tournament is expected to provide the Super Eagles with valuable competitive action and the continued preparations for upcoming international assignment. I will head straight into Senegal, where Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye is preparing to send an official apology letter to His Majesty King Mohammed VI of Morocco, following the recent sentencing of several Senegalese supporters in Morocco. Now, the fans were arrested after incident during the 2025 African Cup of Nations AFCON final between Senegal and Morocco. The Senegalese fans had been detained due to their involvement in the disturbances that followed the intense match, which saw Morocco secure a historic victory. Now the fans faced charges that led to their sentencing, prompting a diplomatic response from Senegal's government. Now, with the bid to resolve the matter and promote goodwill between both nations, President Faye will officially request a royal pardon for the fans, offering an apology on behalf of the Senegalese people. Faye expressed his deep regret over the unfortunate event and emphasized the importance of maintaining a strong, positive relationship between Senegal and Morocco, especially within the football community. The gesture is expected to foster reconciliation and ensure the fans are granted leniency, while also sending a message of unity across the continent in the wake of what has been a turbulent but historic final. Now, looking at that, I don't know if we'll say it is better late than never. The video already circulating on social media right from the finals of the AFCON, which ended in the month of January, and players were arrested, which I believe the president is aware of it. And now talking about President Faye, and now you're sending out apologies because the fans have been, given a sentence of probably what durations. It's coming too late, but it's a better late than never. I expected the president, and including the FA of Senegal, to do the needful ahead of today. Well, let's see how it goes. I just believe that the authorities in Morocco will listen to that. Still with Morocco, the Royal Moroccan Football Federation, under the leadership of Fouzi Lekja, has commenced negotiations with former FC Barcelona coach Xavi Hernandez to take over from Walid Regragui as head coach of the Atlas Lions. Now, Moroccan FA and Regragui agreed to part way last week following the team's failure to clinch the African Cup of Nations title on home soil. Expectations were high for the Atlas Lions, but they fell short of delivering the continental, crown. Now, sources close to the federations indicate that discussions with Xavi is progressing, with the former Spanish international seen as a strong candidate to usher in a new era for the North African side. Also, according to multiple reports, Stefano Pioli is also a strong candidate to replace Walid Regragui as head coach of Moroccan national football team. Now, the situation is expected to become clearer in coming days if an agreement is reached. Xavi is expected to lead Morocco or the other coach Pioli next FIFA World Cup in the summer, as the federation's aims to build on the country's recent rise in global football and maintain its competitive edge on the international stage. And it was a beautiful result coming from the Goodison Park yesterday, where Benjamin Sesko came off the bench to fire Manchester United up to the top, the fourth in the Premier League with a 1-0 win at Everton. Now, to adapt to life at their new 52,000 capacity Hill Dickinson Stadium. Now, the Merseyside club missed the chance to move up to 7th as they remain on the fringes of the fight for a place in Europe's next season. Meanwhile, once again, a happy man, Michael Carrick, spoke to journalists after that game.
Keeper told us that it wasn't the prettiest, but you're going to take that, aren't you, and the clean sheet that came with it?
Yeah, without doubt. I think there's games when you have to do that and show different sides to the game, really. And I kind of expected, we had the first 4 games where the first obviously 4 wins in a row and some really good performances in there, and I kind of expected a little bit of a kind of period where we would have to find ourselves a little bit and find results, and what we did it to a point at West Ham, and we had to do it today, and that spirit, that sacrifice, that willingness to work for each other and as a team. I think the way we had to defend the box for the last spell of the game, everybody playing their part, and in the end a clean sheet, fantastic, and a great win for us.
The fact that you hadn't played for a while, did that affect the performance at all? It was a bit of a slog, wasn't it? It was.
It didn't really come easy for us tonight. It's a tough. I came to Everton for a long time, and when we come over here, it's always tough. And so I've never had an easy game. I've never had a game where it's all clicked. I don't think I can remember. So we expected a tough one tonight. Listen, when we played our last game is what it is, But the lads have trained really well actually, and we came in looking and feeling good about the game. It just was one of those nights for us, and it was a bit of a we had to dig deep. It was a bit of a struggle at times, but sometimes they're the best ones to win.
You used the word click there. 3 summer signings, they all clicked, didn't they, for the goal? Yeah,
it was a great move. We know we're capable of that. I think we've got players that can do that, and if we defend as a team and we put the work in, then we always feel we got a chance. The clean sheet was just as important as the goal, but it was a fabulous goal, brilliant from Mateus, defending well, changing in the transition, and Brian picks out the pass, and for Ben it's just a really confident, strong finish, which I liked. It was fantastic, delighted for him again. He's made an impact again, and he keeps doing it.
And what kind of impact is he going to make going forward? Has he done enough for you to maybe have a think about perhaps starting him from the top?
Yeah, listen, Ben's in a good place at the moment, and we've had some really good talks about it. And patience is one thing for him, and building him and help him grow as a player and develop him as a player here. And he's patient, and he understands that. He's going to be a big player for us for a long period of time. I'm sure of that. And so we got to manage that. We got some really good forward players, and he's made a big difference for us when he's been on the pitch. But that's obviously decisions as we move forward. But the balance has been good with the forward players, so we need to continue that.
Away from the United game, let's head straight to the UEFA Champions League. We go down later this evening, where Victor Osimhen is in contention to face Juventus after returning to training following a minor knee injury. Now, Osimhen was left out of Galatasaray's squad for the 2-0 defeat to Kanyaspor last Saturday as a precaution. Now, the powerful striker was, however, back to training with his teammate on Monday. Galatasaray provided an update on their preparations for the game against Juventus. Now, the club stated that the training session, which began with warm-up exercise using the ball, continued with a 5-on-1 passing drill in 4 groups. Now, the training led by head coach Okan Buruk concluded with a practice match. Now, while Victor Osimhen was working with the team, our team continues each training with the full squad. Juventus will host Galatasaray in Turin on Wednesday night. Galatasaray won the first leg 5-2, with Osimhen providing 2 assists. And to the UEFA Champions League game that we go down later this evening at the Wanda Metropolitano. Atletico Madrid will welcome Club Brugge. So let's see how it pans out. It was a 3-0 draw in the first leg, and hopefully let's see how it pans out for Ademola Lookman or Rafael Onyedika, who will move to the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. And in Germany, Bayer Leverkusen will take on Olympiacos. Let's see if Nathan Teller will be available, or Bruno Onyemaechi for Olympiacos later tonight. Meanwhile, Inter Milan will hope to turn it around when they take on Bodo Glimt later this evening. They lost the first leg in Norway, and they hope to return later this evening at the San Siro when they take on Bodo Glimt. Meanwhile, Newcastle United seems to be a done deal, beating Karabakh away from home 6-1. They'll be playing for formalities, hopefully to get the desired result when they take on Karabakh at the St. James's Park. And this is where we'll wrap it up on Sports Highlights on the Breakfast Show, Rapid Dawn. Discussion still continues at the top of the hour of 9 with Martha and Victor Ake. I am Ijoma Victor. Good morning.